Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use your competitors' 1 to 3 star Google reviews to beat them at their own game. You see, while everybody else is searching for keywords, you're going to be searching for emotion, and emotion is what sells. So let's get to it. Watch this. This video is dedicated to my brother, Darren Marion. I love you, brother. All right. Hey, what's happening, everybody? I hope everybody's doing great. So if this is your first time here, this is what I specialize in right here. Google Maps, Google 3-pack, Google Business Profile. It's been called a million things over the past couple of years, but this is the main section that gets over 70% of clicks. So for example, today I'm using an example of home improvement because there's a lot of complaints in that business. So I decided to use home improvement, but you know, this could be anything: dentistry, doctors, electricians, lawyers, right? Plumbers, movers. You get the idea right here, right? So 70% of all clicks are right here for local searches, meaning that if you have to drive 20 miles to, see a lawyer or a dentist, or a home improvement person has to drive 20 miles to you, you're a local business. If you're an accountant or a web developer and you could do business all over the world, you're more of a national business or a worldwide business, right? You don't have to be in front of the person doing the work. So what many people do, including myself, and it's not a bad strategy, is get a bunch of keywords. For example, I want to try to rank for the word home improvement, St. Petersburg, Florida. Let me change these glasses, right? So I want to rank for home improvement, near St. Petersburg, Florida. So I want to create pages on my website, or at least a page about home improvement in St. Petersburg, Florida, different than what anybody else has created. I also want to go in my Google Business Profile and I want to create posts and services that this is one of the services that I perform is home improvement near St. Petersburg, Florida. But the last thing that I want to do is I want to get reviews, right? I want to get a bunch of reviews using the keyword home improvement near St. Petersburg, Florida. I want that in the review. The problem is that some people leave bad reviews, right? And, I've created videos on how to turn those reviews from bad to good. You know what the easiest method is to just wait a day or two and to just give the person an email or a call and see if there's a way that you could straighten it out. A lot of times, it's very easy because the person was heated at that time, or maybe wasn't thinking straight, or maybe it was a misunderstanding. But sometimes just a kind gesture, just a phone call could turn that bad review to a 5-star review. Real short story. I had a thumb surgery that the doctor attempted to do, but for whatever reason was 3 hours late, and I left them a really bad review. Anyway, about 3 days later, the secretary called me and says, look, this review is really going to hurt our business. Would you mind changing it? The doctor will see you next week and we'll take care of your thumb. I said, yeah, no problem. I waited till my thumb was done, made sure he did a good job, and I changed the review and everybody was happy. But if it wasn't for the secretary to call me back, I probably would have just left that review. So food for thought: if you got any bad reviews, at least make an attempt to have that review changed. 50% of the time, I'm finding out that people will change the review. The other thing is that when you get a bad review, is you have to go through the terms of service. So for example, if they curse in that review, that's automatic that Google will remove that review. Or if it's not clear that they were ever a client of yours in the review. So sometimes, especially when people are emotional, they write reviews that are bad, bad reviews, and they're not thinking correctly and they're breaking Google's terms of service. So it's a very good idea to go through Google's terms of service. Hey guys, just a quick break right here. I created a GPT that has all of Google's terms of services plus some other treats in it for removing reviews. Now, can you do it on your own? Yes, you can. If you want to read 17 pages of documents and put things together yes, you could do it yourself. You do not need this GPT. This is for somebody who does not have the time, maybe has a big business where you get a couple of bad reviews, or maybe you just have a small business and you're not sure. This GPT will tell you if the review breaks Google's terms of service, and getting that one review may be the difference between, having a great month and having not such a good month, because of having such a bad review, the bad reviews go on top as new in Google. So this is a Google bad review crusher. It's a GPT. It's $97. You just click the link, you pay for it. It automatically gets sent to you. As soon as you click the link, it goes directly into your ChatGPT account. And then it'll be on the left-hand side. You just click the bad review removal. You click that, and then in the text box, you just copy and paste the bad review you got. And what it'll do is it'll go through the terms of service and let you know if you have a case, and it'll also let you know where to email Google, right? So it's $97 if you want. If not, the documents are online, and you could go online and go through the documents and see if it breaks the terms of service. All right, guys. Thank you. All right, guys. So now let's get to it. Finally, right after 5 minutes, but let's get to it. Okay. So the thing that I'm going to ask you guys is, please, this is very, very powerful. Do not mention it. This is not a smear campaign towards clients, right? I'm not a lawyer. I assume you're not a lawyer as to what you could say and what you can't say. What we're trying to do is we're trying to say that XYZ is overpriced, right? Without mentioning XYZ, and we're mentioning our service as the solution to their complaint. But we're not mentioning XYZ home improvements, for example. We are not mentioning their name, the business name. We're not insinuating them. Guys, please don't do anything that has to do with the business. All we're trying to do is provide solutions that when somebody's peed off, right, when they're really pissed off, and they go do a search and they see an article saying, hey, have you been lied to about blank, blank? They're like, oh, man, you're talking about me. And it just may be, especially if you could grab these reviews right away, right? If you could get that person, once they create the review, if you could create the article or the social media post really fast, they may see that. If not them, it's somebody else, right? Because not one person's problem is not just unique. So I'm not even going to use a real business. I'm not going to use a mom and pop business. I'm going to use Lowe's, right? So let me show you how to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to just click Lowe's right here, and we're just going to go to reviews, right? And we want to find the lowest. We want to see the lowest rated reviews. So right here, the lowest. What am I doing? Okay. Sorry, I was in the Philippines for a month. You see what happens when you don't stay on top of things? I want them clicking like the review, like Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all these bad reviews. My wife was eagerly anticipating a delivery of 2 appliances. Like their marriage was going to break up if they didn't get the appliance. They didn't get the appliances. You know what I mean? Like, it's an inconvenience. I understand. The guy had to put pictures of himself. This guy was pissed off. He even put a picture of himself, right? Or of the thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google. We're going to go to Facebook. We're going to go to Angie's List. I suggest you have somebody on your team do this once a week. If you can't do it, I'll be happy to do it for you as well. Come to my website. It's mindsaw.com, and I'll get somebody to do this for you. And what we do is we just copy each review, right? We copy the review. Now, we bring it over to GPT. Now, I have this prompt that I wrote, but I'm going to give it to you for free. It's going to be in the description below. And let me just read it real quick. I need you to separate and group these complaints into 6 buckets: communication, pricing, reliability, quality, trust, and aftercare, right? So I'm going to put a couple of reviews in there. And then next, what I'm going to ask GPT is to create blog articles on how to avoid the problem when hiring, a service company in the city of blank, right? So you have to put like, a plumber in Seattle, Washington, or a dentist in Tacoma or something like that, right? Solutions first, and then objections, and add FAQ and blocks. So this is going to create all the content. It's also going to create GBP posts, like 3 questions to ask before you book a dentist, a home improvement place. Like, you didn't see this on any other video, right? So when other videos come out on this topic, please give me credit for this one, because I've been thinking about this for a long time, right? I was in the Philippines a month thinking of all these crazy ideas, and this is one of them that I thought about, right? So just give me credit. It's okay to steal it, but just give me credit, all right? So this is gonna create a whole bunch of content. So I'm gonna come back, right? I'm gonna post several bad reviews, right? Here's one, right? So here are the reviews. All right. So I'm going to post a couple of reviews, but you have the idea, right? You're going to go to Facebook, Google, Yelp, Angie's List. You're going to collect a whole bunch of reviews. Just, get like 15, 20, 25 reviews. Use this prompt and then put the reviews in, and then let's see what GPT pulls out, right? All right, let's check it out. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So what I did was I just collected 10. Is this on? Okay. I just collected 10 reviews, right? Just as a small little sample. And I pasted them into GPT, and we're going to rock the GPT right now. Just move that out of the way. I messed up my recording software. I use a software called Camtasia. It helps me do these videos, and I touched something before I left on vacation. I came back, and that's why I don't have a circle here. I have this square. I have to figure it out. But I had this idea, and I really couldn't wait any longer to get this idea out. So sorry, it was a bit cumbersome. So, okay, let me show you what I did. So I just went to Google. Like I said, you go to Google, you go to Facebook, you go to Yelp, you go to Angie's List, you go to, right? You go all over, and you get a bunch of reviews, Trustpilot, and you get about 25 reviews per week. You take my prompt and you put all the reviews in the prompt. Now, let me tell you why this is important. For the past 25 years or so, we have been doing searches, like I said earlier, for keywords. The keyword being carpenter in St. Petersburg, whatever example, a home improvement near St. Petersburg, right? Or home improvement St. Petersburg, right? Keyword, 1 or 2 words. Now people are going on ChatGPT and they're typing in phrases. These phrases right now, we're just starting to get an idea as to what phrase, but they're not typing in 1 or 2 words. They're typing in full sentences. So how do we get the sentences if we just guess the keywords? We're not going to get picked up by GPT. But this is a great way of doing it, because what we're doing is we're creating content based on emotion. And in these emotional responses and posts that we create and content we create will have the long form in there already, right? Look at this. So it's doing it, right? So it created like a bucket of these reviews: reliability, communication, right? So this is just like a quick look for you. You could create some posts out of this. Look at this. Primary bucket collapse, communication. So Lowe's has right now, the best post that you could probably write is about is about this business having poor communication. Do not use the business name. Is your home improvement? Do you have bad communication? Did you have bad communication with your home improvement? Did they not get back to you? Were they not reliable? Stuff like that, right? So communication, as you can see in the home improvement industry, appears to be something that is a big no-no, right? So how to avoid being ghosted after being hired service, right? Home improvement, city, St. Petersburg, right? That's something that you'll put into the original prompt, right? Reliability, quality, how to avoid paying twice for the same service in city, same service, home improvement in St. Petersburg, right? Trust. And then what it's going to do is it's going to create a whole bunch of articles. I had GPT also create visual posts. So to see what a Facebook post may look like or a Google post may look like. It also created schema for the page. Now this is really good for the local language models like GPT and Claude and Perplexity, is to have this schema on the page. It creates the schema as well. Come on, guys. I gave you a lot of value here, right? So what this did is it just created 1 week's worth of content out of all the pain point of the people that are in your area, right? It's not like you're not in St. Petersburg and you're wondering what the complaints are. You're getting from the people in St. Petersburg are going to have different problems than people in Alaska. And the people in Alaska have different problems from people in California, right? So it created all kinds of images here. I could download the images. So I look at all this content I just got for you. And this is for any industry. And you could do this yourself, right? So I'm all about helping the person. Like when I first started, man, I had no money. I did everything from the accounting to, what's that? Bird. I did everything from the accounting to hiring people to selling to the designs. Like I did I wore about 15 hats, but plus I had a full-time job. I was a correction officer on Rikers Island for 20 years. I did that all while I was doing this on my days off, right? So I would have loved to have all this content given to me, right? And you have it now at your fingertips. So guys, I hope this helped you. Especially if you're a new business, man, go get them, man. This is going to be your year. Don't give up now. You put in all that pain, right? Let's get the reward. Let's get the reward at the end. Take care of your family. Be good to your family. Another thing, when I first started, I had so much pressure on me. I was always a grump around my house. I was always angry around my house because I had a lot of pressure. I was the sole provider in the family, and don't be nasty to your family. Please be good to your family, even when things are going bad, because things are going to go good. If you're watching videos like this and other types of videos, you're trying to improve your business. I'm telling you, it's going to improve. It may not be tomorrow, but it's going to improve if you keep doing stuff like this. And, don't be nasty with your family just because you're having a hard day and you couldn't figure out how to work your GPT or how to copy. How do I copy and paste? Stuff like that, right? It's all stuff that I had to learn. I learned this 25 years ago, but I had to learn this a long time ago, and you're going to learn it too, right? So I wish you the best. I want you to know that I'm on your side. If there's anything that I could do, please come over to my website here. It's right here. It's mindsaw.com. Fill out the talk with me button. How are my Mets doing? They're losing every I've never seen a team lose so much. All right, so you just come over here, click the talk with me, and let's rock it out, man. Let's rock it out. Let's have a quick 5 or 10 minute meeting, and then, see if we're a good fit, and then see if we could work together. All right, guys. I said enough. Have a great day. And I hope I helped you. And thank you very much. Bye.